Okay, so here we go with another McFarlane DC Multiverse unboxing, and this is Aquaman from Justice League, and that's Zack Snyder's Justice League. They want you to be sure of that because they put on their 2021. It's the Justice League from 2021. I guess they hadn't officially titled it as Zack Snyder's Justice League when they were getting this packaging together. But I got him a while back from Big Bad Toy Store, at least at the time. I don't know if they still have any, but at the time they had this guy for a pretty good price, and I didn't have him yet. And I was thinking, I really should get the rest of the Zack Snyder's Justice League characters because I got Superman, and I don't have the actual Snyder Wonder Woman, but I've got the Shazam Wonder Woman. It's close enough as far as I'm concerned. Same with Batman. I don't have the actual Justice League Batman. I've got the BVS Batman, but honestly, I like the BVS costume better than the Justice League costume anyway, so bonus there. And of course, I have Superman in the black costume, which is definitely the Zack Snyder's Justice League version. But I also have the BVS Superman in the red and blue costume, which is what he wore in the theatrical, the 2017, the Justice League, as we call it nowadays. It's a funny time to be opening this guy because they just started the new season of Peacemaker, and I haven't watched it, but a lot of people were kind of making a big deal out of the fact that they retconned out the Justice League cameo from the end of the first season and put in the Justice Gang from the new Superman movie. And to me, that's no big loss. I honestly didn't really care for Gunn's portrayal of those characters in the Peacemaker show. He didn't really seem to treat them with much respect, and I'm glad they're not in the Peacemaker show anymore. Caught them out of the first season too. That's fine with me. But I see a lot of the Gunn fans on Facebook were like, "This is gonna really upset the Snyder fans." Nope, don't really care. Sorry to disappoint you. Yeah, I don't want the Snyder movies associated with gun stuff. I'm cool with them being left out. So that's addition by subtraction as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, we'll go ahead and open them up. Oh, here's the picture on the back. Got a picture of Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and the cross-cell artwork down here where we got Aquaman, Batman, Flash, Cyborg, and black costume Superman. So yeah, I probably need to get Cyborg and Flash eventually. I would like to have the whole team together. Now, I do have, I haven't opened it up yet, but I do have a figure of the Ezra Miller Flash from the Flash movie, and it's the one where it's the young Barry, where he's wearing the outfit that's made from the Batman Returns costume, and I mainly got that because I like Batman Returns. So, well, and that was cheap at the time. I think that was like $10 on Big Bad Toy Store at the time. They did put up the price of a lot of their previously clearance items, and they say it's because of tariffs. But I don't know why you need to worry about tariffs on stuff that you already have in your warehouse. I figure it's probably just trying to make up for tariffs, trying to keep from spending or keep from making stuff more expensive that's like newer stuff. You know what I mean? So a way to offset the tariffs as it was. So we've got the Trident, and unfortunately mine got a little warped in the package. I'll have to see if I can fix that with a hairdryer a little later. We'll talk more about the Trident in a little bit, of course. And then it looks like the only rubber tabs holding this guy in are the double rubber tabs they had around the waist. So she should be fairly easy to get out now. And unlike the Aquaman 2 Aquaman, he's actually got two gripping hands, so he should be able to get a two-handed grip on that Trident once we do that. But his hands do seem like they're really rigid. That very rigid plastic, not the pliable plastic. I appreciate. But we'll talk more about him in a minute, because we still got a little more stuff in this package to go through. So we've got the trading card, and the figure stand. And with this one, McFarlane did something that I always love, which is to put the figure stand and the trading card on the same bubble. And that makes it a little easier for me to get the trading card out. So there's the trading card. We'll come back to that in a second. And here is the figure stand. It is a typical black figure stand with a glossy DC logo embossed onto it, the old style of figure stand before they switched back to the 1970s DC logo. So there's a trading card, same photograph we had of Jason Momoa as on the back of the package. There's what the back of the card looks like, and it reads, Aquaman, Justice League, data file, source, Justice League Director's Cut, film 2021. Again, they want to make sure you know this is not a theatrical Justice League that we're selling this figure for. This is Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I guess they didn't have the official title of Zack Snyder's Justice League at the time. It just says Justice League Director's Cut. Real name Arthur Curry, half human, half Atlantean. Arthur Curry is an outsider who does not feel at home on the Earth's surface or at sea. That is until the world is threatened and he joins Batman's newly assembled team of heroes. What's the name of the team of heroes? Don't leave me in suspense. So looking at Aquaman, the figure, he's got a suit, pretty much the suit that he wore in the movie. It's got a lot of the same details to it. Now, I noticed on the Mattel Aquaman figures, they tended to, have a little more gold detail on the top and a little more green detail on the pants. So it made it look a little bit more like the classic Aquaman suit. But this looks more like how I remember it being in Justice League, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, because it's got the just kind of like the whole thing is almost kind of like this coppery sort of bronze-ish sort of color. It's like a darker gold, but it's got like I don't know, like algae kind of tarnishing it. So it does have still the orange and green look of Aquaman, but it's done in like a completely different way. But like a lot of the times with the Mattel figures, they just kind of made like I said, made the legs green and made the chest and the arms that kind of bronze color. So but here it's all kind of uniform. It's an all bronze suit with some green wash over it. I think it looks really cool. And if you want a figure that's a little bit more of a traditional Aquaman costume, of course, the Aquaman 2 McFarlane figure, I don't even remember what the name of that movie was. Like Aquaman Beyond Stranger Tides or something. I really don't remember. I think that's actually a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but whatever. He dressed up like Johnny Depp when he was shooting it to get Amber Heard's coat, which they did not get along, apparently. I've seen Aquaman 2. So if anybody out there has seen Aquaman 2, let me know in the comments if you think it's worth me watching it or not. I'd like to hear from you about that. So he's got the hair kind of slicked back, looks kind of wet. It's a decent enough likeness of Jason Momoa, I think. It's not the best that I've seen, but it's certainly not the worst. I can tell it's supposed to be Momoa, so that's good. And then the top seems to be like this rubbery piece, like this sort of rubbery sheath that they have over the torso underneath. And I figure that's probably because they wanted to make sure that this armor was flexible here for the posability. So why don't we go ahead and talk about the articulation, since I'm already talking about the articulation. So Aquaman can look up about that far, which is pretty good considering how he's got that longer hair getting in the way. He can look down about that far, which is much better, but it does make his hair look kind of funny in the back. It won't look so bad if he's on your shelf, like looking down like that. So I think that's fine. And of course, he can tilt his head quizzically from side to side, rotate the head all the way around. Of course, the arms rotate all the way around the shoulders, but they are going to kind of bump into that shoulder armor a bit. So be careful of that. The arms can raise up to the sides about that far, which is a pretty good range of motion. And it's got that cool sort of Mcfarlane butterfly joint there. So you can get some wiggle room out of that. Got double jointed elbows. That's about the range of motion that you get at the elbows. And then he's got these gauntlets, which actually do rotate all the way around. So that's nice. That can give you a little bit of extra posability, or at least make the posability look a little more authentic. They don't often do that. Sometimes they do, like with Batman figures, a lot of the times. So I like to check and make sure that we can do that, and we can do that with this one. So this is good. So I like that. Aquaman has that cool McFarlane torso articulation. We already talked about that. So he can lean from side to side about that far, bend back about that far, bend forward about that far. It's not the best that I've seen, but it's pretty good. And then, of course, he rotates all the way around where the rib cage meets the abs, and rotates all the way around where the rib cage meets the belt, or I'm sorry, where the abs meet the belt. But it does seem like it's kind of stiff there. Uh, you can see he's also got the Aquaman emblem on the back of his belt, not just the belt buckle on the front, but the back of his belt also, which I think is funny. It's almost like he's got a tramp stamp back there. And it doesn't quite have like the scaly texture that Aquaman has, but it's got this sort of its own sort of scaly texture. It doesn't look like fish scales, is what I'm saying. It looks like just details sculpted in the armor. Honestly, looking at the figure, he kind of reminds me a lot of Gary Oldman's armor and Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's got that kind of feel to it, almost like an Aquaman version of that. Which, by the way, Dracula's armor in that was supposed to wind up. It was designed to look like a wolf, but I agree with David J. Scull that it looks almost more like an armadillo. And armadillos always have like a weird association with Dracula. It's a strange thing. So anyway, let's get back to talking about the action figure. It's really easy to get me distracted onto talking about Dracula. So he's got that little bit of a wobble at the hip. You see there, it doesn't rotate all the way around, but it does still give you a little bit more posability. Aquaman can kick up about that far, which is pretty decent. He's got double jointed knees. That's about the range of motion you get at the knees. He actually does have a boot cut. So that is unusual for a McFarlane figure. It's kind of a boot. It's not really a boot cut. Really what it is that this shin armor is actually a separate piece of plastic. But again, it's good to have a little bit more posability for the boot. That's going to give you more display options, and that's always good. So Aquaman's foot can point down about that far and point up about that far. He does have the cool McFarlane ankle articulation. So it rotates all around where the ankle meets the shin and where the ankle meets the foot. And you can get that into pretty much any kind of pose that you want to. So that's awesome. I like that. Oh, and the wrists are the same way. I didn't mention the wrist before. He does have the cool McFarlane wrist articulation as well. So it does the same thing. So, and then Aquaman has toe articulation, but it's kind of stuck. Can I get it loose? Yep, there we go. He's got toe articulation just to show off. But I'm guessing because these boots are painted, that the paint has kind of stuck together on it a little bit. And that's why I'm having a little bit of a hard time with it. I'm having to press the toe down on the desk. This one's even worse. So one of them I was able to get straightened out, but this one seems to be still kind of stuck. So that's unfortunate. But he's a really cool looking figure with a lot of good sculpted detail and a lot of good paint detail. And he looks like how he looked in Justice League, but both the Justice League and the Snyder cut. So if you're a fan of either movie, and let's be honest, more of you are going to be fans of the Snyder cut, right? Because the Snyder cut's like way better than the Joss Whedon version. There's a reason that like I haven't watched the Justice League cut since 2021. It's like why would I? Why bother? Like I've got like a way better version of the movie now. They never should have released that version of the movie. They should have just put out Snyder's cut, even if it meant they had to wait until he was done mourning the loss of his daughter. By the way, something I will say for the Zack Snyder fandom, which honestly I consider myself a part of, but they've done a lot of good as far as raising money and attention for suicide prevention. So that's a good thing. Like shout out to the Snyder fan community for that. Is very cool of them to do, and I figure it probably means a lot to Zack also, since he lost his daughter in such a tragic way. It's a good way for the fans to give back, bringing attention to such an important cause. So good on them for that. Like God bless the Snyder fans. Like Like I know I'm a Snyder fan too, so that seems kind of self-serving, but you guys know who you are. I know a lot of you watch my videos, so I see a lot of you guys in the chats of the videos that I watch on that very subject. So, like I said, these he should be able to grip it in his other hand, but unfortunately, like these hands are just the plastic on them is so rigid. That's a problem that I have a lot of the times with the McFarlane toys, and you see like the staff is actually getting all bent up when I'm trying to put it in his hand, and it's because the staff it seems to be a much more pliable type of plastic than the hands. So what I'm going to have to do if I want to get this to be in both hands is I'm going to have to like probably get a hair dryer or something. I was able to get it into the right hand, but the left hand is really giving me a hard time as far as that goes. So I'm going to try to pry it open. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for this episode. I did want to try to get it into his hands, and I might. Come on. There. So I got it into his left hand, but then that wound up pulling it out of his right hand. So let's see if we can get it back in there. Because I would like to have him in a two-handed grip in the so it looks like I might have scraped off part of the paint there too, and actually gotten it looks like it's got gold plastic underneath, which I think would have been better. And yeah, you notice that this trident has like 5 prongs on it, and that's something where it's like, people bitching about Snyder just couldn't leave well enough alone. And like, oh, what is Aquaman's trident have 5 points on? Well, if you read the comic book, since you care so much about comic book accuracy, look at some of the artwork of Jose Luis Garcia Lopez and Alex Ross. Anytime they draw Aquaman with a trident, you'll notice that they draw Aquaman with 5 points on his trident. So that is indeed comic book accurate. I'm just throwing it out there. So ever since everybody been whining about Snyder doing it and saying, "Oh, Snyder got it wrong because he doesn't know how to count to 3," yeah, like then they started always doing Aquaman with like a 3-pointed trident, and it just gets on my nerves. Everybody's got their pet peeves, and that's one of mine. I really feel like Aquaman should have the 5-pointed trident that he always had traditionally. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I think I'm really happy with how this figure turned out. I think he looks really great. I am gonna have to try to get the Zack Snyder Justice League version of Cyborg and Flash, which Cyborg doesn't seem like he's too hard to find for like still pretty close to retail, but Flash seems like he's starting to get up there a little bit. So and it's kind of funny because like honestly not my favorite version of Flash, like I've mentioned that before, like as his own thing, I think that's not a bad character, but I don't think it's a very good adaptation of Barry Allen from the comics. For a Snyder cultist, I can be critical too. Yeah, I know it's surprising. Still, I think a lot of people liked that version of the Flash. I just wasn't really that into that version. I thought he was okay in the Zack Snyder cut. He got kind of annoying in the Whedon cut, so that shouldn't be any surprise because most of the Whedon cut was kind of annoying. But Aquaman was cool. I really liked Aquaman. I thought Jason Momoa was a good choice to play Aquaman because it made him seem a little more badass than he usually seemed in the comic book, And we knew, us who actually read the comic, we know that Aquaman is more badass in the comics than he was on, say, Super Friends or something like that. So we always knew Aquaman was a badass. But personally, my favorite version of Aquaman is actually the one from the Brave and the Bold cartoon, and that one was a little more humorous, but he was still like a very bold, well, brave and bold, adventuresome kind of character. And I really liked that sort of boisterous quality. I really like that version of Aquaman, and I really like Aquaman on Justice League Unlimited. And I kind of figured when they cast Jason Momoa that like he would be really good at doing an Aquaman who kind of split the difference between the Justice League Unlimited version of Aquaman and the Brave and the Bold version of Aquaman. I kind of figured he'd be able to do either one equally well, and that is pretty much the Aquaman we got. I kind of feel like he's a little more dude bro than than the Justice League Unlimited version of Aquaman, but he's still a little more serious and maybe a little more regal than the Brave and the Bold version, but he still has a little bit of that humor and a little bit of that boisterousness. So I did really. He kind of reminded me a little bit the Brave and the Bold version of Volton from Flash Gordon. You guys know I love Volton. But anyway, that's pretty much it for Aquaman. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry I missed doing a video yesterday, but man, like I don't know. My sleeping has just been so messed up lately. And it's like I went to sleep, like maybe around, I finally fell asleep like around 8 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up like 2 hours later, and I could not get back to sleep. And if I'd known that I was going to have such a hard, it was going to take me 2 hours to get back to sleep, I probably would have shot a video then, because I'm like, if I'm not going to fall asleep for another 2 hours, I might as well. But I wound up falling asleep again at around noon. And even usually when that happens, I'll still wake up around like 4 or something. But this time it did not happen. I woke up just in time to go to work. I even forgot to set my alarm, but it's still, I still woke up on my own just in time to go to work, thankfully. So, yeah. So my sleep's been kind of messed up lately, but I'm still trying to get the videos out, at least get 6 out a week, and sometimes I've been missing a day here and there, so I haven't been able to get out as many as I would have liked. But we still got a lot of DC Universe to go over, and we'll have some more Masters of the Universe soon, and we're gonna have some G.I. Joe soon. So I think my next video that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finally open up this guy, because I've been talking about him for like months that I've had this figure. I've had this Animal Man figure for a while. I got him when they had, this was an exclusive at Target, and they had him marked down. And I went ahead and finally I bought him when they had him marked down, and he's just been sitting over there on my shelf, like separate from the rest of my pile of figures. And occasionally I'll see him and be like, oh yeah, I need to open up Animal Man, and I'll forget about it. And we'll have some things to discuss when I open this guy up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting Animal Man finally opened up. We got more Superman characters to go over. We got Lex Luthor. We got a Superman in the black and silver outfit. The daddy Superman, the bearded one. We'll talk more about that once we get to that. And got a couple of figures from the Superman movie, which I still haven't seen. But I mean, this is just a good Lex Luthor figure anyway, so I went ahead and bought him. And he was on sale when I bought him at Walmart. And this one I got off of Amazon. They had him on Amazon for a while for only like $20. So I did pick up Lex Luthor finally. And I got from the ones that were on sale at Walmart, I got Mr. Terrific also. So we can discuss that figure somewhat. I'm a fan of that character. There's something that to me is a little off about the design in the movie, and I'm not sure what it is, but maybe we can figure out what it is when I open up the figure. So but yeah, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe, and all the fun YouTube stuff down in the comments below. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about Aquaman, both as a character in general and this figure specifically. And let me know what's your favorite version of Aquaman. Maybe you really like the version from Super Friends, or maybe you liked the Filmation cartoon, which actually I think was the best of Filmation's DC cartoons. Oddly enough, I think Aquaman was the one where they really rocked it. Superman was good, Batman was good, all the DC shorts that they did were pretty good, but Aquaman was the one where I kind of felt like they nailed it. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. That helps me with the algorithm, and they put the video out there more often, and more people watch when they like and subscribe, and YouTube likes it when I say like and subscribe. So I make sure that I say like and subscribe, and I say like and subscribe a lot, because then when more people like and subscribe and YouTube puts the video out there, then more people watch the video, and then more people like and subscribe. You see how this works? It's It's kind of understandable, isn't it? I hope it's understandable. I hope you're not getting too irritated with me. But we'll be back next time. I'm going to open up Animal Man. I still got a few more DC Multiverse figures to open besides the Superman ones, and hopefully Captain Have Fun will get back with me this week, and we'll be able to do the stream, and I'll open up Superboy on that stream because he wanted to do that. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.